Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Back out in the woods today. It's a little bit earlier than I'm usually out. There you go. But out doing what I love, and mainly that is looking at bags. I'm a huge bag geek. I like bags. This is a bag that has been created by, or it's in collaboration with another huge bag geek. So what we are here today to look at is the Nitecore SLB3. Now this has been it's been created in collaboration with the mighty Lee Gear. I hope I pronounced that right. If you're kind of around that Asia, Southeast Asia area, you'll know how big Lee Gear is and the packs that they make. So yeah, it's got a bit of weight behind. Actually, I mean, it's not particularly heavy, but a bit of grunt behind this in the pedigree that it's come from. So as I usually do, I will turn the camera around and we will take a closer look at the Nitecore SLB03. Well, I'm not actually going to turn the camera around. I'll roll the intro bit and we'll take a closer look. So here we have the Nitecore SLB03. So hopefully you can see from here as far as dimensions is concerned. This is kind of your everyday grab it and go style sling pack that has quite a few different functions as far as how you can hang this and how you can carry it. It's actually incredibly versatile as far as that's concerned, and it's something that I do like to see. I've told you in the past that although on paper I identify as a right-hand person, my brain, I think it's because I was dropped as a child, my brain kind of works both ways. I am right-handed, but I do a lot of things left-handed, and I generally tend to look at slings that can be changed to a left-hand configuration because I wear it over my right shoulder and pull it round my left-hand side. And it's great to be able to have a bag like this that is configurable like that and has the options should you choose to want to change it. Now, as we usually do, we'll go through some dimensions, we'll have a look at some of the materials, and then we'll have a look inside the bag itself. So as far as the dimensions are concerned, it's a nice bag. It's roughly 12 inches by 6 inches, which is roughly, I say, so it's 260 millimeters by 125 millimeters and 5 millimeters deep. So if I hold it up like that, you can see fairly common kind of sling bag style. It's like a large toiletries bag kind of bag. There you go. I've said bag several times just in one sentence there. How about bag, just in case. Materials, it's made from this really nice 500D nylon, which is, you know, it's great, it's tough. It's a no-name nylon. I've not been able to find anything on the website that says what nylon that it is. However, I know that Nitecore have used a similar nylon. It probably is the same nylon to this in a lot of their packs, and it's tough. I think for what you're going to use this for, if you're going, ooh, it'd be nice if it was Cordura, then just don't be silly. Just don't be silly. It's a nice bag. All of the zips, really nice YKK zips. There's a main pocket, there's a front pocket here. There's access to the pocket here on the top. Nothing on the back as far as zips is concerned, but these are all really nice, super smooth YKK reversed seam zips, which are great as well. All of the hardware that is on here, it's all UTX hardware, and then the ones on the side, if you can see, these are the Hexhard UTX buckles. So if you're new to this style of buckle, the way in which this works is these slide onto it. So you have a little press here. If I just make sure that we're in focus, you have a little press here. What you do is you push that in, and then, sorry, let me do this with two hands, that'll probably be easier. Push that in, and then you slide it along, and then when it slides along, it should just pop off like that. So should you need to change it, whether you want to put it, whether you want to change the sides, now when it comes to you, it comes in a, let's call it a right hand configuration. So this is here on this side, but for me, as I mentioned, you know, I like to carry my bags, especially sling bags like this. I carry them left hand sided, so I just pop that on, slide it on as well. Now the same goes for this one, whereas with this one it's slightly different. So you can still take this off, it's still exactly the same sort of closure. You push it down, it's definitely easier to do with two hands. You push it down and then you can slide that off. But with this one, so the D-ring here on the back, if I just pop that down like that, hopefully you'll be able to see it's a split D-ring here at the back. So should you need to change it, you can take this, it's actually easier if you take the strap off it, just so that you can get a bit easier access to the D-ring, and then you can swap it over to that side. That's how, if you would hold it similarly to a sling style setup. I guess this is, I mean, it's certainly common for people to understand nowadays the difference between maybe a sling and an over the shoulder one. So I always get this. It's actually, what you need to do is when you get it to that part, it almost kind of locks again. So what you need to do is you need to twist this, and what it'll do is it'll just push that down just that extra little bit more. But should you want to wear this as a waist pack, I know some people around the world call it a fanny pack. I always find that a bit strange, considering a lot of the world, a fanny is a funny word for a vagina. But you can wear it like a waist pack, just like that as well. So this is what I'm talking about different options as far as versatility and how you want to carry this. And it carries reasonably well, mainly because it's got a perfectly flat back. With a flat back, it sits against your body, and yeah, it just doesn't move. It doesn't kind of swing or anything like that when it's on. Now, let me just take this off here. Again, it's actually easier if you do it with two hands. Push it in, move it around, slide it down, just tilt it ever so slightly, and then you go, Bob's your uncle. Let's put this back on there, and it slides back on. So, going around the pack itself, hopefully you'll have seen on the sides here towards the back, you have these Hexard buckles. Other than that, there's nothing on the sides. The zip comes round. It comes down about 2/3 of the way down, which makes sure that it doesn't completely fall forward should you want to open it. And then you have a nice little paracord loop. It's exactly the same on this side. On the bottom now, I do like what they've done with this, mainly because it's just nice to have some sort of lashing points on the bottom. If you didn't want these, you could take these off. You'd have to try and see, oh, okay, yeah, so you can do, yeah, so you could, there's a little pinhole there, you could push that through so that you can undo this buckle, and then you can take it off. If you really were never going to use these, you could cut them off, which I think would be a waste. It's always good to keep this sort of stuff. But if you're out and about, maybe you're doing some shopping, or maybe you're out like this, you want to take something. I've come out today and I've put the little seat pad that I'm on now, so I don't get a wet bum. I put that underneath here, and it just meant that it was, you know, it was just nice and safe while it was carried. On the front, it is a little tactical, because what you have is you have this PALS webbing across the front. There are 2 rows with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. So if you do want to attach something to the front, maybe an extra pouch or something like that, super simple. This is also hook and loop backed. So if, again, you know, if you wanted to put your name strip on here or anything like that, you can do. This is one of the Nitecore NU06s. This is the LE version. You get quite a few of these little extra attachment points, so if you are walking at night, maybe you want to drop this on here, then you can do. This doesn't come with it, but I recently did some content. I'll leave a link here. I recently did some content on these. They're always great so that if you're walking at night, you can be seen. So, did mention there was an easy access panel here at the front. This is a single zip open. Now, again, I'm really picking here at faults, because genuinely, I really do like this. It would have been nice if this had a double zip, so that you could open it from the middle, you could open it from this side, whether you're a lefty or a righty. But again, I mean, I'm really splitting hairs on this to try and find a fault. It's a very nice bag and it's a very well designed bag. So you have that zip, slides across. It uses this accessory cord. I suppose it's very similar. No, it's not a paracord because I don't think it has any fibers in there. And then you have these little heat sinks on there that have been shrinked on it so that it's always easy to grab. Opens up. So yeah, I've got some dog poo bags because I am a dog walker and it's the responsible thing to do. But that goes all the way across the front, and as far as the depth, so hopefully if you can see here, so underneath where this PALS webbing is, there is a stitch that goes across there, and that's where the bottom of this goes down to. So this front panel here, so if I turn around, this front panel here actually works as the front of this pocket, and then you've got more of that 500D nylon on the inside there. Super useful when you're out, you just want to throw your keys in there, maybe you want to throw your wallet in there, especially if you're in an area where you're certainly not concerned that somebody's going to get into here. Then in the main section, this has an ambi open double zip, which I think is great. I think all bags and pockets really should have double zips on there just to make sure, you know, whether you're a righty or a lefty, that you can get in with ease. You may have just got a sneak peek. Now, one of the things that Nitecore got in touch with me and they said Lee Gear are really concerned because they know that you're going to be making some content on this and they're concerned about a certain level of credibility. So I can confirm, yes, that this is Tactical Teddy Bear compliant. Tactical Teddy Bear will fit in there perfectly. Hopefully if you can see as he's lying on top there, his head goes all the way to the end. His little dirty feet are in there too. But yes, it is 100% Tactical International Tactical Teddy Bear compliant, and I'm just going to put him down. Kerf, are you good? You good, man? Yeah, he's good. So I'll open this up so that we can have a closer look inside. Now I'm going to call this the front and this the back because this is the bit that sits on the back. So on the front here, if I splay this open, in the front there is a slip pocket which fits perfectly should you need to drop a mobile phone in there. This is the Google Pixel 6 Plus. It fits perfectly in there. You're not going to have any issues whatsoever. It is roughly about 8.5 inches. My span from my baby finger to my thumb is exactly 9 inches, so it's roughly about 8.5 inches. So whether you've got one of those huge phones, I certainly don't think that you'll need to worry about anything popping in there. There's also a little elastic section here. I guess you could put a mobile phone in there, but it'll be good for things like wallets, so you can just, yeah, again, poke that in there so that it's always there should you need to get to it. On the back section, I'm just going to take that out for a second. On the back section, there is another large slip pocket that runs the full length. Now, as I always do, so as far as the inside, all of the stitching on here is immaculate. You know, it is a very well put together bag. You can see there's a little bit of information here as far as it's 100% nylon and it is washable in warm water should you need to. The inside is completely lined, so anything that you've got on here, mainly because of the 500D, it's not necessarily highly abrasive, but it is quite a tough material. So all of the insides, the back panel here, all of the insides through here as well, has this really nice lining. It looks like, I'm going to guess, an educated guess on this, I'd say this is maybe, say, a 200, 210D ripstop nylon, which, you know, it's a very common liner that is used. All of the lining across the bottom here is reinforced, the lining across the top here is reinforced, and even these little slip pockets, rather than folding and then doing a stitch, all of these slip pockets have nice reinforcement along the edges as well, just to make sure that you'll get the most out of this bag that you want. Now, I did have just this extra little pouch in there. This is the commuter pouch from Pioneer Gear. It's just to show you can put those extra things in, and before. So I've got my mobile phone in there. I consider that as quite a large wallet. Let's grab another wallet as well. This is one that I'm testing out at the moment. I can drop my keys. Oh, actually, I'm not too sure where my keys are. Tactical teddy bear fits in there. As far as its capacity, this is a 1.6 litre bag, which I think is great. It's a good size to be able to put things into. On the reverse, other than the buckles that we've had a look at as well, you have this really nice padded air mesh in there as well. The mesh on this is probably, I'd say, 2 or 3, maybe 4 layers thick, so it gives it an extra kind of depth to that. Should you be concerned about anything, on the inside. You feeling that through it whilst you're out and about walking with this. Just some nice little hints on there as well, just to style it out. And yeah, but as far as it just works, and I think again, just for the layout of it, you can certainly see that it takes, especially in collaboration with Lee Gear, it's very similar to the type of packs and sling packs that they make. And like with most things, the value of any sort of bag really should come down to how well it works as a bag. My nan always used to say the proof of the pudding is in the tasting. And as a sling bag, it works incredibly well. So bringing it round to the front, because of the way that I have this set up so that this goes straight across my shoulder, a lot of sling bags, you'll have them and they'll come round and they kind of slant like this. But the way that I have it, so it comes underneath this shoulder and over that one, whether you were lefty or righty, you can turn that either way. You can grab this and it sits just perfectly on there. Because the back is completely flat, it will always sit perfectly flat against you wherever it is. When it's on the back as well, it changes the orientation so that it now kind of shifts upwards a bit, because that part that was now over the shoulder it kind of it rotates round. But again, it sits perfectly flat whether you're walking, whether you're trying to climb over things. Certainly not any issues. There is, which I haven't mentioned, there is a strap, or at least the strap section of this. You can see it has some daisy chains down here should you want to attach anything to this, but this is nice and padded. The padding on there does give it actually just a little bit of a grip. What you tend to get with certain sling bags, it does it more so if you've got more in there, is what I call slip. And the slip will eventually come so that rather than being on your back, eventually it will just find the lowest point, which generally is here, just kind of by your side, past your kidney. And with this, the strap does a very good job of just making sure that it stays in place. And I think as well, because of the geometry of this, with it being able to sit perfectly flat against your back, you also get a little bit of grip from that air mesh that's on the back, which helps to stop that slippage or that rotation of it being brought round. 1.6 litres is great, and it's perfectly good for EDC. You can put all of your essentials in there, plus an extra bit just in case you do need that. But generally with 1.6 litres, even if you were to fill 1.6 litres with water, that's only 1.6 kilograms, which shouldn't be too much, and will help to alleviate that kind of rotation and that slippage as well. But it's great because it comes round, it fits just there, perfect. You grab the zip, you open it up, you do what you need to, you throw it back in, whatever it is that you're doing, put it there again, and then you're off and you're out and about. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, well, what do you think? And my thoughts are this: I like it a lot. I really do like it a lot. I think a sling bag like this is incredibly useful, especially for your essentials. And one thing that I know that I haven't mentioned is just the use of this. So if you're certainly worried about city walks and that sort of thing, I've said this a lot of times before, but if I was to take my jacket off and then put it back on again over the top of this, it's not that too obvious that I'm wearing this. Should I want to pull it round, I can pull it round, I can get what I need to, I can put it back, and it doesn't look too... I'm going to turn around here and go, Jesus, that looks obvious. Maybe this isn't the right coat, but if you had a larger coat, then it just takes away certain worries that you'd have that people are going to try and get into it. Another huge advantage with a type of bag like this, I'll just take my jacket off for a second, is when you're in a car, if you're ever worried about situations or you feel that you need to be prepared better to get into a car or out of a car, more importantly, to for whatever emergency that it is, you can drive with this still on. I'd probably recommend just lifting it that extra little bit higher. The seatbelt will still go over this. It's not going to cause any obstructions to a seatbelt. You can still get a seatbelt off, out, decant from a vehicle and still have this with you because it's just on there. It's little things like that that I think a small... I've just undone it then. A small sling bag like this is certainly worth its weight in gold, especially with EDC, and again, you know, as I mentioned, carrying your essentials. So yes, highly recommended. I'd like to say thank you for I'd like to say thank you to Nitecore for reaching out to me and ask if I'd like to have a look at this. I certainly appreciate whenever companies get in touch. So yes, thanks again. I will leave all of Nitecore's links below so that you can see more from them. I'll leave some of my social media links below as well, but for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. I hear children. A little bit earlier than I'm usually out, but it's beautiful. Absolutely. I hear children and puppies. Right, let's get it. Let's get it on. Ah! I can't sing that high. And I won't try and sing that high. I'll just embarrass myself. Shoots high. The weird breathing in thing. I think I need to go on like a singing course to learn how to sing to better use my breathing whilst recording. That's probably a bit OTT. Shoot! Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Back out in the woods today, doing what I love, and it's all to do with bags. Today we are here to look at the Nitecore SLB3 tits. SLB, it is the SLB3, you idiot. SLB3, there you go. Psh. Shoot! Oh no, that needs to go there. Maybe I should turn the camera around. Probably should. There you go. Completely different woods. That was a big yawn, wasn't it?